Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about mineral deficiency in goats and why minerals are so important for goats. Let's get into minerals for goats. And you need to have minerals for goats. I'm no expert when it comes to this, but I'm just giving my information that I learned and what I experience with minerals and how I prevent mineral deficiency in my goats, and look out for the signs that your goats might be in mineral deficiency. I do try to prevent this a few ways, and I'll go ahead and explain how I do that. First off, you want free choice minerals always. But if you have free choice minerals, your goats might still get mineral deficiency, and there's a few ways that reasons this could happen. Your area you live in might be deficiency in some minerals and not deficiency in others. When you get your minerals, don't go to Track Supply and stuff like that. If you are at the point where you don't know of any other farm stores and you need minerals, then I would go to Track Supply and get some until you can get better minerals. But I would say go to a farm store that is made for your area. You know, a lot of states have farm stores just in that state. It's not like in other states, so those brands stay in that area, so it's getting with what that area needs of minerals. And so if you can't find a farm store or they're super far and you just need to find minerals, then you can order them online, but you're gonna have to find out what type of minerals your town is or area is deficiency of. You want to find the mineral for your area. So find out what is your area of deficiency of. There's so many minerals they could be deficiency of. There's zinc, copper, selenium. There's vitamin B. There's so many minerals that your town could be deficiency of. So you can call the town and find out what is in the soil, what minerals you got in the soil, and when your goats graze, they might be getting some minerals and other minerals they're not. And a lot of people think goats don't need minerals because they don't have it in the wild. But guess what? In the wild, and they eat their forage, so they're getting minerals through their forage. They do get minerals through their forage, but they're in the wild. They go from town to town. They go from they'll be in one area and then they leave and they go where they need to go and where they need to go for minerals, and they know what they need to eat. But on your property, you're having some minerals and they're not getting some other minerals, so you want free choice minerals and minerals that are fit in their needs. So if your goats are mineral deficiency, and if those minerals are low or not added to your mineral, some Track Supply minerals actually don't have added or it'll be very low amount. So if that happens, and then you think my goat is deficiency, there is a couple options for different minerals have different types of treatments to do. So for selenium, I believe is how you pronounce, I don't know, there is paste. For vitamin B, there's paste. There's a few different types of paste for different minerals. I think there's probably 4 maybe, I don't know, that I've seen. I don't know, like I said, I'm not too experienced with this. But for copper, use bullets. for zinc, you can use human zinc pills, and yeah, so you can use that. You can get that like probably like any pharmacy, or Walmart might sell it. I don't know. So that's for that, and yeah, so I don't know too many. Free choice minerals. Next, watching your signs. I don't know all the signs there is, but I did get a goat with copper deficiency, and so for the signs for that is patchy hair, fishtail. Their hair will change in color. So if you have a tan goat, I think she'll start turning lighter. If you have a black goat, it'll start turning brown. Another thing is a few different minerals deficiencies. They can have like loss of hair like on their eyes right there, right around their eyes, and they can have loss of hairs on their like above their nose and under their armpits, I think, is also a spot that they can have loss of hair. And yeah, so those are a few spots on mineral deficiency, and sometimes on their legs. But you want to look for a couple signs, because if you, like, for instance, say you give them a copper bullets, if you give that and they already have enough copper in the body, they'll get copper toxicity. You also want to be careful about not giving too much of that and all that. So just really check for signs. Usually paste, like, you can't really, if you give them a little bit, it usually won't hurt them. But you want to be very careful about the bullets. Another thing is your water can have minerals of some things and minerals of not some things. So what I do about that situation, what I do is I collect rainwater. So every time it rains, I put a bunch of buckets out under from where it rains, and like against the house. You can do it on their shed or anywhere like that. I collect that for them, and then once I run out, I use hose water, but that way they're not getting too much minerals from the hose water. They kind of get a mixture. Just check your ear. Do you have mineral deficiency in the soil? Do you have it in the water? Do you have enough equal minerals? Do your farm stores have low in certain things that your area is deficiency of? Is it high? Now here's something else. If it's high in something and low in something else, your goats won't eat it, because the part that's high they have enough of, but not enough of the low spot, so they're not eating it, if that makes sense. Now, if your goats have free trace mineral, but they don't really touch it, they probably just don't need it. If it has everything in it they need. Like, if it has too much of something, not enough of something else, they might not be eating it, because, like I said, they have enough of the stuff they already have in their body. So if they're not eating it, and their coat looks shiny, they don't have a fishtail or anything like that, it's probably okay. Actually, my goats have a fishtail right now, but that's no problem. They don't have patchy hair. Their coat looks good, so I'm not going anywhere further from that. Okay, so if they have fishtail, don't run to conclusions. They need copper. You want to look for several signs. That way you're not given copper toxicity. Another thing is keep your minerals up high. Don't keep it on the ground. Your goats are going to knock it over. Bugs are going to crawl into it. Your goats will get parasites. If that's close to the ground, it could get knocked over. Then they lick it off the ground. And all that. So keep it up high. You can keep it in a PVC pipe if you have a lot of goats. Or just keep it in a bowl, screwed to the wall, something sturdy, and that'll work. Another thing is, if your goat is copper deficiency, another time they can show is they might eat the soil on the ground, so they'll start eating dirt. And that's kind of what they do in the wild for minerals, eat the dirt. So you don't want that to happen because they can get parasites, and parasites are just really difficult, trying to figure out what they have, treat in it, and it's just, especially if you're milking goats, you have a milk discharge after you treat them also. So to prevent all those parasites and stuff, just have good minerals, please. Another thing is, if you're deficiency of something, but it's not in any minerals that you can literally find, you can also get a salt block specific for that. You don't want salt block, you want free trace minerals, because salt block they don't get enough of. And to make salt blocks, they either pack with salt or molasses. And so it's not the minerals that's packed in there. So I would guess a salt block, like say there's selenium deficiency in your area, you could just get a block of selenium. If you can't find them at your farm stores, you might be able to find them online. But a lot of farm stores do sell them, but some don't. So another thing is, if you don't even have free trace minerals at your farm store, and you order them or something, but they're not going to come for a while, you can get a salt block, like of mixed minerals, and just kind of like scrape it into a bowl. Or, if it's gonna come, but it's not coming yet, you could just have a salt block until it's there, and just leave it, the block. But in the fall time, like late fall, right before winter, I also like to give them a salt block. And because the reason I do that is because it's becoming winter, and so they're not going to get as much minerals from foraging. And so I give them a salt block, like a big one, and that will last a few months usually for the winter. And so they're not foraged as much. Also, it's breeding season. Your bucks need more minerals to stay healthy through breeding your does. Your does need more minerals so they don't have miscarriages, and they also, if your goat's mineral deficiency, they might not take also, and they could have miscarriages. And so I give them that. If you can't find out what type of minerals your goats are deficiency of, you could ask a vet and see in your area and see what they think the area is deficiency of, what they might have seen in other goats in that area, and all of that type stuff. Or if you're in groups, you can ask the Facebook group, like if you join groups for your area and see what other people might be deficiency of in that area, and so you can do that. That's just a few things I do and how I deal with mineral deficiencies. Like I said, I'm not too experienced. I'm just giving personal advice that I have, and just make sure you find minerals for your area. If you don't know what's deficiency of, like I said, call the town, find out what's deficiency in the soil, or ask a Facebook group for your area what it's deficiency of, and like a farm group maybe. Someone that also has goats that might be deficiency in that. Also, if you keep sheep and goats together, don't do it because sheep can't have copper. Goats require copper. So you're going to have to find a way to keep those separate. Maybe have them together, day, separate night, I don't know, but they need copper, okay? So you have to have that. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this advice helped. Let me know in the comments on your advice with dealing mineral deficiency and what minerals you give your goats. Also, let me know what brand you use and what brand you like. I use I think it's called Meat Maker, and I think it's not for meat. It's just called that, okay? It's fine for dairy goats. And then it is, I think, Blue Seal brand, but I'm not 100% sure. But let me know in the comments on what brands you use and what your area might be deficiency of and how you deal with mineral deficiency of. And if your goats are mineral deficiency, what you do about it. Like, do you use paste? Whatever. And I hope this can help other people. And let me know if it helped you. And be sure to subscribe for more goat videos.